What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony, aka the San and Tokyo. For this video, we are going to be discussing the upcoming game, Kingdom Hearts 4. Of course, there hasn't been no announcement for it, but I just want to give it at least a couple of things that I would love to have within this game. First thing first, let's go into some of the details as to what is going on with development. Now, development wise, we have zero information for sure about what Kingdom Hearts 4 is. All we do know is that there is going to be an upcoming game or some type of project that's going to be coming pretty soon from Square Enix. Nomura has stated several times that there will be another game or something in the lines of Kingdom Hearts to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the series, which is coming next year in 2022. Now, as far as what this game may be, we have no details whatsoever. But even though we have no details what this game may be, that doesn't mean that we cannot speculate. And this is pretty much what this video is going to be on. Speculations and theories, what I would like to have within this game. Keep in mind, all of this is just my ideas, my thoughts, so if you have anything in mind that you would like to have in Kingdom Hearts 4, just go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. Now that we got all that squared up, let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing first, I want more playable characters, or at least character switching. Now, I'm not trying to say let's make this like Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I do like the character switching within that game. I feel like that's the perfect example for what we can have within Kingdom Hearts 4, considering the fact that it's directed by the same director on both series. Now, with character switching, it allows us to be able to, one, play as more characters, and two, be able to have a change of formula for the series. Earlier this year, or I think it was probably late 2020, he has stated that he is wanting to change a few things within the series. Tetsuya Nomura has stated that he wanted to change up the formula of Kingdom Hearts, starting up with the next game. Now, for me, that makes me think that he wants to change up the formula of how gameplay may works, or maybe even how the structure of these games may go. To be honest, I've always loved how the structure of this series has been. It's been nice having where Sora and Donald and Goofy are the main characters who are going around to different worlds and doing things, and I always loved the combat, but I really did wanted some switching up. One of the things that I loved about Kingdom Hearts 2 is that at the end of the game, Riku actually joins the party, but he doesn't join in like a very long time. Plus, he can only be played at the world that never was. One of my wishes was that I can at least have Sora, Riku, and Kairi in a party together doing something in the lines of potentially going to different worlds, or maybe even original worlds, or like going around several different places all together, because I really want them to team up. I really wish that at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 they have done this, but I was okay with the fact that they had Sora and Kairi doing it, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 you had Sora and Riku doing it. So I thought they were probably trying to mirror what was going on with the last one. So with that in mind, that goes right into my second choice. My second choice is having Sora, Riku, and Kairi teaming up. Ta-da! That's no surprise from there. But I really would like them to be able to travel more together all the time and also have character switching. I feel like if we were to do something like that, it will definitely change up the formula of the series. It will definitely allow us to be able to have more time and more team attacks and more skills and so on, like Final Fantasy VII Remake is doing. One thing that I love about the Final Fantasy VII Remake series right now is the fact that you have your party of 4 people, but most of the time it's going to be 3 people you're switching in between, and each one of them have their own set skills and abilities and stuff that they go through that you can customize yourself. And I kind of want that same sense with Sora, Riku, and Kairi. I'm not saying I want Final Fantasy VII Remake combat in Kingdom Hearts 4, but I just like the character switching in that combat, and I want it within the Kingdom Hearts series as well. And that's all I really want, for Sora, Riku, and Kairi to actually team up and be the Destiny trio that they're supposed to be and doing things together. My third choice is going to be square worlds or areas. The reason why I say areas is because there's been rumors and potentially theories out there as well talking about that square is going to be more prominent within the games going forward, meaning that there might be worlds or possibly areas within the next Kingdom Hearts game. And I say areas because a lot of people are speculating that the next game, which is where Quadratum is going to be taking place in, there might be square worlds where we end up having them all in this district of Quadratum, which sounds pretty cool to me. But if we get worlds or areas, either one of them is fine with me as long as we get more square representation. In Kingdom Hearts 3, we had Final Fantasy characters, but they were only part of the DLC. I wish they were actually part of the story, even though there has been subtle little hints there and there about Auron and Cloud, but that was all we got. But I really want a little bit more in the base game of these games going forward. Going to our fourth option is a prologue with Yozora. Now, first off, I was one of the few people who actually enjoyed the Roxas segment in Kingdom Hearts 2. I thought it was great and I loved it. The only thing I kind of wish is that Roxas could have been a little bit more part of the story of Kingdom Hearts 2. If he was key points of the story, but he wasn't really doing a whole lot within it, considering the fact of what was going on in the story, which is fine, but I kind of wish that he was actually a little bit more part of it. So instead of just having a prologue with Yozora, maybe we can have points in the game where we switch between Sora, Riku, and Kairi and Yozora, and having a little bit more of a duality story here, and having us to being able to play as Yozora, and we don't have to worry about pretty much character switching with him because there's already so much going on, and I feel like we want to at first establish Yozora as a character first, and then maybe in the future we can have like a game more focused on him and his friends. But for right now, for Kingdom Hearts 4, I just want like a prologue with Yozora, maybe a duality type of story switching between the two of Sora and Yozora. Maybe that would have been great, but that's just my opinion. Number 5 is having more original worlds to explore, literally explore. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a great game in some sense, but one of the things that I had a problem with is that there wasn't enough original worlds where you can actually explore. The only original worlds that you were able to go and do things in were the Keyblade Graveyard and Twilight Town. Now, there wasn't much to both of those, but you still were able to explore them in some type of extent. Same goes with Skylight at Kylum. Skylight at Kylum wasn't really explorable until the DLC came out. So I'm kind of hoping that in Kingdom Hearts 4 we might have at least a little bit more exploration in the original worlds, and it'll be nice to have at least 3 to 4. Throughout the whole entire series we had at least 3 or 4 in each title, so I thought it would be nice if we can keep that same concept within the series, but allow a little bit more exploration. Number 6 is have more original or guest super bosses. Now, the one thing that I love about Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, which are the mainline titles, they had a good variety of super bosses, but not as much as Kingdom Hearts 1 did. Kingdom Hearts 1 had tons of great original type super bosses, while Kingdom Hearts 2 just really had the organization you're fighting all over again, plus Sephiroth and the Lingering Well. If we really want to say how many original type super bosses, there's only about 2, which is Sephiroth and the Lingering Well. Or if you want to be more technical, there's 1 guess and 1 original. But of course you want to count the data battles, which are 13 of them, and I don't think they are really considered a great type of super boss. I want more super bosses, but I just want more than just 1 or 2. I want more of them, like at least 3 or 4 actual super bosses that are not just copy and pasted. And that's all I got to say on that. But other than having more original super bosses and guest super bosses, it'd be nice to see some being pulled at other places. Of course, original bosses can be just like future stuff like we've been doing for quite some time. And the guest ones can be pulled from like other Square properties, or maybe more Final Fantasy properties. Just my opinion, but we'll see. Number 7 is going to be a better paced story. Now, I still think to this day that Kingdom Hearts 2 has the best paced story within the whole entire franchise. Seriously. Even though a lot of people say they do not like the idea of revisiting Disney worlds, I still think the pacing of Kingdom Hearts 2 is still the best. You have a great prologue, then you get to the actual main characters doing things, then you get to the Disney worlds, then you get to the plot in the middle, then you get to Disney worlds again, then you have the main plot once more, and then once you do that, it's the end of the game. And I feel like their pacing was the best in Kingdom Hearts 2, better than any other. One of my issues with Kingdom Hearts 3, I make it sound like I hate Kingdom Hearts 3, but I don't. I love Kingdom Hearts 3, but I have to notice a lot of the flaws. And one of the flaws is the pacing. I really just have some issues with the pacing of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I just hope that they can be able to fix that within Kingdom Hearts 4. Other than that, that is all I have to say. These 7 points were just a few points that I wanted to mention that I would love to have within Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever this next mainline game may be. Most likely going to be Kingdom Hearts 4, but if there is going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4, I just love these points to be in it, because I feel like the next formula to be changed up, or at least some improvements on a sequel. These are a few things that will definitely satisfy me if they can at least hit 4 of these. If they can get at least 4 of these, then I'm fine with it. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any ideas or some things that you suggest that you would like in the next Kingdom Hearts game, go ahead and leave it in the comments section down below, and I'll check you all in the next episode. Peace.